All right, so let's jump in and cover what's new with XenServer. So with all the changes going on in the industry, we're having more conversations with customers interested in moving their Citrix to XenServer. And the common themes of pain when we talk to these customers or the drivers of change are around price increases, renewal increases, uncertainty around future pricing from another vendor. And I heard one customer describe it as managing risk of being locked into one vendor. So why would you want to choose XenServer? The obvious reason is cost savings, with XenServer historically being a free entitlement of Citrix. And when customers are new to XenServer and deploy it for the first time, they're often surprised by the simplicity of XenServer as an added benefit. And then with XenServer being part of the same company as Citrix, we have multiple Citrix optimizations that are unique to XenServer. And then historically, graphic acceleration was another reason customers would choose XenServer, with XenServer being the first hypervisor to bring vGPU capabilities to market. So XenServer 8 was released earlier this year in Q1 as the first release rebranded as XenServer and as the follow-up to Citrix Hypervisor 8.2. We released a new trial version. It gives you all of the features with up to 3 hosts in a resource pool for 90 days. And with this XenServer release, we moved away from the LTSR and CR release model, which I'll touch on in a few slides. But XenServer 8 does have support through November of 2028. So if you are on Citrix Hypervisor 8.2 LTSR, support ends in June of 2025. Don't wait for a new LTSR. XenServer 8 is the platform that you should be planning to upgrade to. And I will add a link in the follow-up resources to the product docs that walks through the upgrade process. So some of the notable new features in XenServer 8 include support for Windows 11 VMs, a supported Terraform provider, available for download on GitHub. We added net new monitoring capabilities with SNMP and Nagios. We doubled the max vCPU for VMs from 32 to 64. PVS teleportation makes it easier to migrate PVS vDisks from VMware to XenServer. PVS Accelerator is now built in instead of being a supplemental download. And a few other improvements with XenServer Conversion Manager. Now you can import up to 10 VMs at a time. And some GFS improvements, including MCS full cloning capabilities. We changed how we deliver updates with XenServer 8 and automated updates, which I will dive into this topic on the next few slides. So as I mentioned, with XenServer 8, we changed the way we deliver updates, and this is both from an engineering process and how you interact with it in the XenCenter UI. And as part of this, we also moved away from the previous LTSR plus CR release strategy. So now, just think of XenServer 8 as the LTSR with support through 2028, and then you consume the hot fixes and new features through our new update release stream, and automated updates is the feature in the XenCenter UI. So new features will continue to be delivered via automated updates until XenServer 9 is released. So there will not be .x releases of XenServer 8. XenServer 8 is the platform, and automated updates is how you consume new features. So to compare the before and after, in the past, you would pick and choose what hotfixes you wanted. And internally, we had no way to test all the different combinations and orders of installation. And we were on a quarterly release cadence at best for new features. In the installation process, there was limited details on the updates and generic guidance on if things like reboots were required. With XenServer 8, we use a new update delivery model with a continuous update stream that you simply consume from the CDN. And the stream is a fully tested stack of updates. This allows us to deliver small changes much more quickly with the release cadence of roughly every 3 weeks. And now the installation process gives you full details on what you're installing and clear guidance on what the impact of the update will be specific to your environment. So the new release strategy is much simpler, more predictable, and gives you more confidence in the updates that you're consuming. So drilling a little bit more into how automated updates works, you configure the synchronization at the pool level, and available updates are synced with the CDN. You can choose to be on the early access or normal access channel for updates. You choose when to apply the updates. But again, there is no picking or choosing which updates to install. You will consume the full update stack that you have synchronized. Automated updates integrates with our existing live patching and rolling pool upgrades capabilities. So live patching is where most or some updates won't require a reboot. And rolling pool upgrade is where if the hosts do require a reboot, it will evacuate each host before updating and then update the host one at a time in a rolling fashion to limit or reduce downtime. As far as support is concerned, you must be current on your updates within a 6-month window to remain supported. And here on the print screen on the right, that shows the new UI, where you can see that there is much greater detail as to what you're consuming, with details on the security fixes, bug fixes, improvements, new features, and foundational changes. So the UI gives you guidance as to what the specific impact to your environment will be, such as if host reboots are required or if just a restart of the tool stack is required. So when it comes to Citrix, Citrix is really known for its enterprise provisioning and image management capabilities. It's one of the reasons why people love Citrix, and it's the best way to deploy virtual desktops at scale. However, if you're using a hypervisor that is not optimized for Citrix, aka VMware, it can put heavy load on your network and PVS server when using PVS, and heavy load on your storage when using MCS. And this can result in things like boot storms, taking longer for VDAs to restart, and taking longer to update machine catalogs. So if we translate the technical problem to the business impact, this can be things like taking more time from administrators when updating machine catalogs. A lot of times, this is a process that you guys are doing after hours, most of the time on the weekends. It can take longer for users to get connected to their desktops during reboots or boot storms. It can require more expensive storage and networking, or you can get less scalability out of your existing infrastructure. And you could require more teams involved in your Citrix projects, such as your storage and networking teams, which could delay your Citrix expansion projects. So, and I talked to a Citrix admin recently that he updated a machine catalog over the weekend. Users noticed an issue on Monday, and they had to roll back the catalog, which took almost all day because he was using VMware. And the admin saw that their storage was pegged out. So I won't read through the whole list on the right, but XenServer solves these problems and delivers all of the corresponding business value. And how we do this is with our 3 Citrix optimizations: PVS Accelerator for optimizing PVS, and IntelliCache and Storage Read Cache for optimizing MCS. So from a high level, these work by caching the image on the XenServer host instead of every VM pulling the image from over the network or pulling from the storage. So these optimizations greatly optimize provisioning for both PVS and MCS and solve those problems around boot storms and overloading your infrastructure, and machine catalog updates taking a long time to complete. We recently released a blog series and demo video series going deeper into these optimizations and showing them in action with some side-by-side comparisons on the performance improvements. So I definitely recommend checking those out. And for the money savings, this is where Citrix customers can save a lot of money. XenServer 8 is a free entitlement of the new Citrix subscriptions listed on the screen. And the previous Citrix hypervisor is still an entitlement of the old Citrix licensing. XenServer 8 is currently being offered as a free promotion for the old Citrix licenses, subject to internal approval. So if you are in the old packages, your Citrix rep can fill out a request to get you the promotional licenses. And then if you buy any of the new Citrix subscriptions, XenServer 8 licenses will automatically get added to your My Citrix account, where you can allocate and download them. So wrapping up with some resources I think you should check out. We recently launched XenServer Tech Zone with the goal of helping customers get up to speed as quickly as possible with Citrix on XenServer. In Tech Zone, we released a reference architecture for running Citrix workloads on XenServer. We also released a migration guide for migrating your Citrix workloads from VMware to XenServer, and it covers the different steps based on the various machine catalog types. We also released a blog and video series, as I mentioned, going deeper into our Citrix optimizations, where we show a lot of those side-by-side comparisons of with and without our optimizations, so you can see the side-by-side difference of virtual machine boot times and impact on network and storage. So definitely check those out. They're on our blog site and YouTube channel. Also on our YouTube channel is a best practices webinar for Citrix workloads on XenServer. and these links will be available in the follow-up material.